Herbals. So we'll fly through the herbal remedies, aloe vera juice. What is aloe vera juice for? It's pretty much for everything. A few years back, everyone was touting aloe vera juice round like snake oil. It was good for this, it was good for that. I love aloe vera juice for its digestive support. I think it's fantastic, taken before a meal. If you're the sort of person that have inflammatory bowel type conditions, it really just smooths the way through for the food. It takes the inflammation out. If anybody's ever used aloe vera gel, put it on the skin and seen how it takes the burn out of the skin, it does the same job when it goes through the system. But it's good for lots of other things as well, because it contains a vast array of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, mucopolysaccharides, you name it, everything's in there. Our product is a double strength one, and by double strength we buy a 10-to-1 concentrate. Because it's shipped over the Atlantic, we don't want to be shipping water over the Atlantic, so they take it out at one end and we put some back at the other end, but we don't put 10 parts water back in, we only put 5 in, hence it's double strength. So it's twice the strength of your standard aloe vera juice. It's also got very little in the way of aloin in there. This is a very harsh substance that can certainly loosen the bowel, shall we say. If you were wanting to help someone loosen their bowels, that aloin in aloe vera juice would certainly help. So we take it out because not everybody wants that action. Mucopolysaccharide content, this is one of the key ingredients. We're looking at 1,500 milligrams in 1 litre of aloe vera juice, so quite a good level, and this is what really helps to put moisture in the skin from within. Cherry. Great for gout and arthritis. If you've got any gout people, then get them eating cherries during the summer. It's fantastic. Montmorency cherries, tart cherries, they're the ones that really do help. It's great for sleep and jet lag because it's the richest natural source of melatonin. And we can't sell melatonin, but this is the next best thing. It's still very small amounts, but it does seem to help people. And sports recovery. A lot of sports people using it. The GB Olympic cycling team, all on cherry juice. We did win a few gold medals at cycling. It's something we're quite good at. And that's the reason they put it down to, well, one of the reasons they put it down to the use of cherry juice. So it's fantastic for that. Well, I've got a local football team. We sponsor our local league team, AFC Fylde. They were in the 6th tier of English football. They've just been promoted last weekend up to the 5th tier. They came to us and they said, oh, we're absolutely knackered. We're really struggling towards the end of the season. What do we do? And I said, right, we get you on some B vitamins. We'll put you on some cherry to get you recovering afterwards. And we'll give you some ubiquinol, which is a CoQ10. It's the ultimate CoQ10. We'll talk about that later on. And they finally got there. They won the league last weekend. So I'll go this weekend for the final game of the season with a smile on my face when I meet the guys. It'd be great to see them. So yeah, great for sports recovery. So why buy ours? Ours is just a pure 500 milligram freeze-dried cherry in a capsule. And it's suitable for vegans, vegetarians. Cranberry, why do most people take cranberry? Urinary tract infections. The vast majority of our cranberry sales will be for cystitis with women. Can also be good for the heart. There is some evidence that cranberry can help support the heart, but the vast majority will be about urinary tract infections. So how does cranberry help? Cranberry helps because of the presence of a substance called hippuric acid. Hippuric acid and fructose stop the bacteria from adhering to the bladder wall. So it basically flushes the bacteria through. Now, one of the first things people say when they've got a urinary tract infection, somebody tells them, oh, go and get some cranberry juice. What's cranberry juice full of? It's full of sugar. What's the worst thing you can feed to a urinary tract infection? Probably sugar. So we produce a product that doesn't have any sugar in it. It's a 5,000 milligram equivalent, so there's no sugar in there because we don't want to be adding to the burden. Concentrated garlic. Smelly stuff. This is smelly. I'll make no bones about it. It's a smelly product. But it doesn't repeat on you. It's been odor controlled. So although you'll smell it, when you've taken it, it doesn't come through the skin. Always take it with a glass of cold water, probably the best way, rather than a hot drink. Mind you, that's the same for most things. but great for things like cardiovascular health. As an antimicrobial, it's antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. Garlic's been used for over 5,000 years in Ayurvedic medicine. It's an antioxidant. So and it's down to the presence of the sulfur-related compounds in garlic that it has all this action. So sulfur, it's got quite a distinctive nif to it. It's smelly stuff, is sulfur. So if you take the sulfur-related compounds out, you make it odorless, you do essentially take away a lot of the benefits of garlic. So odorless garlic, it's okay, it's all right for your granny if she wants to just take something regularly every day, just keep me healthy. But if you've got a real issue, if you've got some problems with your cardiovascular system, etc., then you want a concentrated one. And ours is the equivalent of taking about a clove of garlic. It's 129 times stronger than the odorless version. And it's got standardized amount of all 5 of those active components that you tend to find in garlic. Ginger root, what is ginger root good for? Nausea and digestion. Most people think of ginger for morning sickness, travel sickness, things like that. Certainly very good for both of those. It's also probably the reason we go for a curry when we've had far too many Guinness the night before, because it settles the stomach. It's got some ginger in there, it'll settle the stomach down. Circulation, arthritis, inflammation, respiratory infections. If you've got a strong upper respiratory tract infection, ginger would really help. So how does it help? In the digestive system, it certainly helps to ease nausea. It has an ability to sort of calm the stomach down and it improves the bile flow. For the cardiovascular system, it stops your platelets sticking together, so it makes the blood flow more smoothly. It also helps get to the parts that other herbs don't. It gets to the extremities, it gets to the fingers, gets to the toes. So people that suffer with Raynaud's syndrome, in the UK we often recommend, certainly the British Raynaud Society recommend the use of ginger alongside ginkgo. Now I know you can't sell ginkgo here, but certainly the ginger aspect of that would be certainly beneficial for those Raynaud sufferers. It's a great expectorant, it has a lovely warming action. Anyone who's ever drunk ginger tea made from fresh ginger will really know what that feels like, that burn as it goes down your throat. But that's great for as an expectorant. Has an analgesic action as well, so this is why we put it in some of our joint products. Helps to improve joints. So ours is 500 milligram ginger per tablet, has good levels of those key active components that really do have the effect of supporting all those actions. Moving on to ginger, turmeric and bromelain. Ginger, turmeric, bromelain is a great anti-inflammatory. It's great for the joints. It's a unique product in HSA. Nobody else produces this combination of these 3 nutrients. It's good for osteoarthritis with poor circulation. It's good for sports injuries, and it's good for bursitis, tennis elbow, housemaid's knee, those type of things. So how does it help? Well, we know that ginger, about 1,300 milligrams of ginger has been shown to be equally as effective as the anti-inflammatory drug phenylbutazone. We know that turmeric can help to produce our body's natural cortisone. So it's effectively like having a cortisone injection. Bromelain is an enzyme that we find in pineapples, and it has some really beneficial effects, especially for athletic injuries, sporting injuries, reduction of swelling and pain and tenderness. So ours, as I say, is a unique combination. It has active doses of each of those component ingredients. It has a synergistic action. Korean ginseng, very often thought of as the man's ginseng. Korean for the men, Siberian for the women, yin and yang. There's no reason why a woman can't take it. It's just one of those old wives' tales, I think. Energy and stamina. It's great for the immune system. It helps with the libido. This is probably why it's a men's ginseng. Blood pressure, very good for that. Initially you might see a spike in blood pressure with Korean ginseng, but it does usually level itself out after a while. So if somebody's got high blood pressure to start with, it might not be the best thing for them. So the properties of ginseng are down to the fact that it's what they call an adaptogenic herb. Siberian ginseng, Korean ginseng, rhodiola, these are a group of adaptogenic herbs. They help our body cope with physical and emotional stress. So, and the things that are caused by physical and emotional stress. So stress can certainly exert an awful lot of problems onto the body, so problems with the central nervous system, blood pressure issues, and pain, etc. Our product is 16 milligram of ginsenosides, that's the active component. Milk thistle, this is definitely for when you're going out for a few too many Guinnesses, so I would definitely say one before you go out, one when you get back in, if you can remember, if you've not had that many, and one the following morning. Definitely really does work to help prevent a hangover. But if you've overindulged in food as well, if you're really overdoing it, then this is fantastic stuff. It has 3 strong bioflavonoids in milk thistle, known collectively as silymarin. My favourite one is called Silly Bum. There's Silly Diane and Silly Christine, but they don't sound too bad, but Silly Bum I think sounds great. Our product has 82.5 milligrams of silymarin. It helps to stop the toxins from affecting the liver in a negative way. Passiflora Lemon Balm and Avena Sativa, again, is another of our unique formulations. Great for anxiety and insomnia, nervous indigestion, long-term stress, that type of thing. So how does it help? Well, Passiflora is mildly antidepressant, antispasmodic. It has a mild sedative action. Lemon balm is really good for those sort of nervous butterflies in the tummy that people that they get. It certainly helps the smooth muscle of the stomach to relax. So that's why we tend to get that nervous butterfly effect in our stomach. Avena sativa, very good, natural, mild sedative. Avena sativa is also a great one for people that are trying to kick the habit of whatever. If they're smokers, if you're trying to kick the smoking habit, Avena sativa would be really useful. So this would be a good anti-smoking formulation as well. So it's very good for shy, easily unnerved type of characters, quiet people. Raspberry leaf. Most midwives recommend raspberry leaf for childbirth. But it's also good for menstrual cramps because it has an effect on the uterine tissue. It's good for fertility as well. So it's the presence of this alkaloid called fragrine that seems to have this beneficial effect as far as the uterine tissue is concerned on the muscle layer of the uterine tissue. And our product is a 750 milligram raspberry leaf. Rhodiola, again, like Korean ginseng, an adaptogenic herb, helps the body in lots of different ways. So things like stress and exhaustion, fatigue, mild anxiety. It also lifts the mood. And in a country where you're not allowed to sell St. John's wort, I think this is a fantastic natural alternative. So if you're looking for something to help to boost people's mood, and they can't obviously get hold of St. John's wort, rhodiola is a good natural alternative. So great adaptogen, also been shown to be very good for students just before their exams, helps them remember things better. I don't know whether that's down to the fact that it helps to take some of the stresses away from them. Our product is probably the strongest on the market. It's a 500 milligram. It has 3% rosavins, 1% salidroside, and 40% polyphenols. Those are the magic numbers. If you're looking for a good rhodiola, you always want to see those numbers on there. Give you that real get up and go feeling. Saw palmetto complex, very good for benign prostatic hyperplasia, prostate swelling. So guys with prostate swelling certainly need to make sure that it's not something more sinister, but once they've had the diagnosis, they've just got BPH, might be getting up 6 times every night to go to the toilet. Saw palmetto would definitely be beneficial for them. It helps to reduce the swelling. Unfortunately, the prostate gland in the male grows throughout our lives. At 50% of us will have prostate swelling. At 60, it'll be 60%. At 70, 70%. If we're lucky enough to get to 100, we're all probably going to have prostate swelling. So. Yeah, very much at men. I have come across saw palmetto being used by women for fertility issues alongside other products Agnes castor, saw palmetto for women with severe infertility issues, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Certainly saw palmetto seems to help with that. But primarily it's men. I would say 99% of people using saw palmetto are male. Urinary tract infections in men. It first came over to Europe in the 1890s. It was used in Germany to help alleviate urinary tract infections in men. It's good for reproductive health. So we have a nice unique blend of various materials in the product. We've got saw palmetto, we've got nettle root, we've got some amino acids. Nobody knows why those 3 amino acids help the prostate, but they do. Pumpkin seeds are in there. We've got some zinc and some copper. And ours is standardized to 1600 milligrams of saw palmetto. Starflower, what is starflower oil? Starflower is basically evening primrose oil plus, if you like. It's double the strength and a little bit more in GLA content of evening primrose oil. So it does exactly the same as evening primrose oil does. So all those areas that primrose oil would help, so does starflower oil. You've got roughly 90 milligrams of GLA in 500 milligrams of starflower oil. You only get 80 in 1,000 of evening primrose oil. So you might pay a little bit more, but you can certainly get more for it. Starflower oil is very important because it produces those PGE1 prostaglandins, those helpful prostaglandins. Probably, like I said, if you're taking starflower, maybe take some fish oil alongside, balance it out. And it's a nice small capsule as well. So people that don't like swallowing a big primrose oil, take a starflower oil. Turmeric is the star of the moment in the herbal world. It's now become #1 seller in the States, overtaking all the St. John's worts and the ginkgos and products like that that were very much #1 over there beforehand. Turmeric is so effective for so many areas. So it's a great anti-inflammatory, it's good antioxidant, it provides great liver support, it's good for the circulation. So how does it help? It helps because of the presence of substances called curcuminoids. They're the stuff that makes it really orange. If anyone's ever cooked with turmeric and got it onto the work counter, it doesn't come off very easy, does it? We actually, I'm glad I'm in Ireland this week because we're working on a new turmeric product, a stronger version. And when I told the development team that I wanted this new version, they nearly killed me on the spot because they go home after having a shower, still covered in orange from all the production. They have a shower at home, shower at work, go to bed, and they'll wake up the following morning having had 2 showers, maybe a bath, and the sheets are still orange. It just sticks to you. It's horrible stuff. It stains stainless steel, but it's really good for us. So that's my argument. So our product is a 400 milligram pure turmeric in the capsule. And one of the conditions I didn't put up there for obvious reasons is cancer. A lot of people take turmeric when they're struggling with cancers. And they're looking for products that haven't got any fillers or binders, etc. So when we formulated this one, I said, really, I just want pure turmeric in a capsule, nothing else. So it's really important that that is the case. It's the equivalent of taking 10 grams of turmeric a day as well. There is a school of thought that says add a bit of black pepper to turmeric. It might make it a little bit more easily absorbed. I'd probably take it with your food. It's probably the easiest way of doing it.